The hardest thing in real estate to do is buy the property right. Today, we're going to do that numbers and analysis together. So this happens to be a 2-unit property, and it is for a brand new investor. He's going to be wholesaling the property. Jose is going to wholesale it to Lucia. Lucia is the brand new investor buying her first property, and we're going to walk you through the step-by-step process. How do you walk the property? How do you show it to a contractor? Today we have him with us, and then we're going to go and do the analysis together in the office. So let's go inside and let's look at the property. So we just walked through the property. Now we're going to go back to the office and go through the numbers, and we're going to show you the step-by-step process. If the numbers make sense, then this property will make sense. So let's go back to the office. Hey guys, so we're back in the office. Miss Lucia is here. So Miss Lucia, welcome. So we walked through the property. I mean, this house, when was this house built?
1902.
1902. And you're okay doing an old house?
Yes.
You're okay. Okay. So Miss Lucia is good. She did all the homework. She looked up all the details about the property. This is a good thing, right? So as we walk through the house, Miss Lucia, you know all the outside is going to have to be redone, right? All the siding, everything. You're going to need brand new siding. The garage is nice and huge. That's good. So as we get into the house, it's kind of choppy, right? Because it's an older house. So she's going to have to figure out something about the kitchen on the main level, redo the kitchen. Most of the paneling throughout the house can be kind of sprayed, painted. You can do that yourself, right?
Yes, I can.
That's she can do. But the house is choppy. And for the era when it was built, that's just how it is, right? I mean, so there's nothing we can do about it. But every room that they have, it makes sense to put a door, just so that obviously that particular area, a lot of Hispanic clients. That's going to be the back end, most likely the renter. So with Hispanic clients, a lot of them will have larger families and they'll use every room. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right? Yes.
And the garage too.
And the garage too, right? So I mean, that's just, you have to know the area you're investing in. But in general, the bones of the property are solid. So if we kind of go in the basement, we looked at furnace, was brand spanking new, meaning a couple of years old, high efficiency furnace. Hot water heater maybe needs to be updated to a bigger tank or put a tandem over there. Maybe just go to a bigger tank and be done with it. A little bit of support for the support structures, because these older houses, 100-some years old, the wood gets kind of, because of the moisture, whatever, you start sagging, so it doesn't hurt to put a little bit of additional support. It's not that it's bad, but certainly doesn't hurt to do that. And then the electrical will need to be upgraded throughout.
Yes.
Yeah, you already anticipate the cost for that, right? So that is one major thing. Plumbing line coming in, the main water line seems to be okay. There's a brass fitting, brand new meter reader on there, and a little bit of copper pipes, but rest of it is all galvanized. Pressure in the house is really good, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so pressure they've already checked during the home inspection. If we go upstairs is kind of a 1-bedroom right now, the way it is, right? So it's got to be basically somehow at least 2 rooms. I mean, there are 2 rooms, but it's not going to be perfect. But rent-wise, what do you think the property would rent for?
Maybe 330.
3,300, right? So basically 2 units. Downstairs would be a 3-bedroom to a 4-bedroom, 1 bath. Upstairs, it would end up being a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. So you're going to obviously get a lot more downstairs. You have a lot more finished area. Upstairs is going to be a little less, but about 3,300, right? Now, this is the main thing. And this is going to be based on the criteria of the investor, right? Whenever somebody comes to Mastery, the first thing when we meet is we want to figure out what is their profile. Now, we've already done this in the past, so I know she's done a little bit of painting. She's done a little bit of that kind of stuff. You do house cleaning business, right? That's kind of her profile. Now, the good thing with her is she's been saving up money for all these years, right? How's your credit?
735, 740.
So 735, 740, so it's good. So let me ask you this, right? If you flip this particular property, like if we look at the numbers, 330 back end, 6-7 months, even 8 months on this property, 1,500 purchase cost. Actually, let's make that cost about 3,500. Finance cost 1,500 or so a month. So you would take a private money loan for the purchase, correct?
Yeah.
Rest of it you can put in out of pocket, right? Okay. So in this case, she does have money, which makes it kind of easier for her. For people who have to borrow the purchase and the rehab, obviously you're jumping through a little bit more hoop, but repair costs about 85, 90,000, somewhere in that ballpark, just because there's clearly a lot of work needs to be done. So we're going to make this about 90,000 here, 150 to 200 bucks in utility expenses a month. When everything is said and done, if she's paying out, let's say 4% here, she would want to make somewhere around 66,000, because per Mastery standards, we want to make at least 20% of the sale price of the ARV. So you could make a profit for about 66,000 or so, right? You're buying the property for about 140,000, correct?
Yes.
Right? So you'd make a $66,000 profit. Would you rather do a quick flip? Not a quick flip, I would say 7 to 8 months. Or would you rather keep it for a rental?
Keep it for rental.
Keep it for a rental. Okay. So if we look at the rental numbers in this case, I already put the numbers in just to kind of make it a little bit easier. 140 purchase price. Now her purchase price, your purchase price includes a wholesale fee in there,
The wholesale.
right? Is already included. So she's buying the property actually from, we met Jose in the video earlier. And so she's buying the property from him. And in this particular property, based on $3,300 in rent, about 6,000 taxes, every month you'd end up making $1,000 or so. Are you good with that?
Yes, very good.
Very good.
Plus the garage.
Plus the garage, right? So she understands the Hispanic market. And I mean, this is something we laugh about it, but it's true, right? A lot of times Hispanic people will not park their cars outside. They want to have the truck inside the garage, right? And so, and it depends. Like you take a Berwyn market, you take certain markets. In Berwyn, parking is a big deal. It's tough. So a garage has a lot more value. Here, it's a big garage. Hispanic people love to work on their trucks. And the reason I'm bringing that up, because it depends who your end, either your buyer or your customer is going to be as far as the rental, who your renter is going to be. And you can get maybe $100, $150 more, right? For that, if not, maybe 200 bucks. More?
Maybe 500.
You think so?
Easy.
Easy? Okay, well, all right. But clearly her cash flow on this property is really strong. $950, she's going to have about 25, 26% equity. So it's a good deal, right? Now what you have to decide is you got to do your due diligence on the property still, right? Make sure everything is okay from the city end. You're doing a FOIA request already, right? So from our end, as far as Mastery is concerned, you on your profile makes sense as a borrower, and the property makes sense. So from our end, it's a go. So it depends on now how the due diligence comes in, because we need to make sure that, hey, it can be rented out, number one. Now in that area, we know they allow rentals, so that's not an issue, but just a little bit more homework about the properties left. So we went to the property, we figured out who she is, does it make sense for a flip and or for a rental. So in this case, why did you decide to keep this as a rental rather than a flip?
Because it has a good cash flow.
Good cash flow. Okay. All right. So she's doing cash flow for life, right? So she understands that it makes a lot more sense to keep the property rather than flip it. So guys, it's an exciting process for us, because for Lucia, this is her property number one. And you know, anybody can be a real estate investor. The question is, do you have the right guidance? Do you have the right help? Do you have somebody who has the expertise to be able to do the homework with you and then figure out? And are you willing to follow direction? If that's you, you belong in Mastery, because That's what we want. Is we can show you the step-by-step process, but guess who's got to do the work? You do the work and we will do the review for you, and we get to do it together. That's kind of the most exciting part from my end. So super thrilled. Huge congratulations to Miss Lucia. And for those of you that want to learn more, want to participate, go to andrewholmesrealestate.com. Remember, other people have theories. We have properties.